In this video, we are going to look at the website's dashboard in Analytics. Analytics can give you an overview of the top sites in your industry or in your client's industry. So to begin, let's select the websites option on the dashboard homepage. Start by giving the dashboard a name and then enter the domains you want to analyze. So let's call this UK sites Brexit. So I'm going to begin by adding the first website. Now, if NewsWhip is tracking a website, it will appear in the drop-down menu. If not, you can contact our team here in the corner with the question mark and ask that it be added to our database. So we're going to select BBC. Let's also say The Guardian, Independent, if you want to search a keyword across all of these sites, as I want to here, you can do that in the universal filters down the bottom. So in this case, I just want to search for Brexit, and I'll also include Article 50. And when we're searching in analytics, this will just search on the headline, snippet text, and the URL. It doesn't search on the body of the article. You have the option to input these as a query or in Boolean. Now I'll just select Create Dashboard, and then the dashboard view opens. Right now we're just set to the default of the last 7 days, but let's instead choose a year, and we can do 2019 to date. You can also select a custom date range if you want. In the first table, we can see the article count for each site, the average interactions, which is calculated when you look at the total interactions divided by the article count. The second website overview gives us an overview of where all the engagement came from in terms of social networks. We can re-rank any of the sites based on any of these engagement types. So for example, shares, The Guardian wins there. Or we could look at pins and the BBC jumps back to the top. The overtime comparison shows us the interaction count of all the articles over the time period we've set for this dashboard. You can change that though to be the article count as well. So we can see here there is a peak between the 11th and the 17th of March for both the Daily Mail and the BBC. If you want to select a time period, you can also do that by dragging across, and the content panel will expand on the right-hand side to show you what that time period is represented by. You can see the timestamp at the top of the content panel, and I'm just going to expand it out and remove that. And then we can see what the top content, in this case around Brexit, was for each domain. So we've got BBC, Daily Mail, Independent. And we can also re-rank to see what was the top content on each individual network. So let's say, for example, in terms of pins. Moving on to the second tab at the top here, we have the leaderboard. And the leaderboard within the website's dashboard, this shows a table view of the top authors. You can sort this data by the publication name, the article count, average or total engagement. So you could see, for example, which author from the sites that you've selected is writing most about your brand or your competitor's brand or topics of interest in your industry. Using the network type dropdown, we can pick the network that maybe best suits the audience or consumers of our brand. So let's select Twitter. Click on any of these authors and the content panel will expand from the side to show us the content this particular author has written. Moving then to the last of the top 3 tabs, we have Report. So you can set up a report, and first you have to select a domain to be your keystone site. So this is the one against which everything is compared. So let's go with The Guardian. We hit Create Report, and then we can see a summary report for the period selected, with The Guardian as the main headline site. The top articles from The Guardian, it's highlighted in terms of where it stacks up against the others, and then the top 20 articles across all the domains. This reporting functionality allows you to set up a schedule report to send to a selection of email addresses, even if they don't have access to NewsWhip. You can also add a comment for context and set the frequency.